Hey, everybody, welcome to Wednesday Night Hump Day. And this is the very first edition of the Harry the Greek.
The over or under. But my question is, who's over, who's under?
I know I'm not under. I'm under a lot of things, but when it comes to this, okay, you're over.
Okay, I'm over.
So, how are you tonight, my friend?
Not too bad. Good evening, everybody. I'm just staring at you like with a dead screen. I'm just wondering if anybody can hear me tonight.
That's what we were having some audio difficulties, and so we had Mr. Peter Blake on here, and we were testing it. So I think we're going to be able to take calls. Is that how your show's going to roll?
Yes, we are. But the only thing is, I didn't put the stream on the bottom of there because I don't know how to do that yet.
Well, we can do that while we're doing the show. We'll run a commercial. You know what we'll do? We'll run a promo for My Cup of Ray, and at that point, we'll change the stream on the bottom of the page. But
sure, go right ahead.
Well, you don't have to do it right now, but I wanted to talk to you about some football, Mr. Harry. So, what I want to talk to you about tonight was obviously the news this week. We're gonna have to go there because I wrote an article on it
with VJack.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, how sad that was.
Yeah, and it wasn't just. It was phenomenal because not what happened this week wasn't phenomenal, but Vincent Jackson was a phenomenal player, a big free agent when he comes over from the San Diego Chargers, having trouble with the contract, and they kind of held stalemate with him. And then he comes here, signs a 5-year, $55 million contract. But one of the most important or one of the most intriguing aspects for me is we draft Mike Evans, VJack's second year here, and basically we knew what Vincent Jackson would do on the field, and we saw him, and we saw Mike Evans come in here. Of course, he made Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football at Texas, but he comes in here, and he was under VJack's wing, and we've seen now that Mike Evans now 7th year with 1,000 yards rushing or 1,000 yards receiving in a row, setting an NFL record, and what it meant to him. And even he had some comments, and I wish we could run them right now, but we really didn't have time to edit them. But what were your thoughts when you heard about that this week?
It was really sad. You know what's really strange? I mean, it's not a hidden secret that I work for a very large mechanical repair facility. Actually, the largest. I work for Bridgestone Retail Operations, and being in the Tampa Bay area and having all the customers. I mean, I didn't even hear about it until I went to work in the morning. Someone saying, "Oh, did you hear about Vincent Jackson?" Vincent Jackson, yeah, ex-wide receiver.
Yeah.
And I heard speculations from being homicidal, suicidal, drug addiction, alcoholism, taking his own life, CTE. First and foremost, we're dealing and we're talking about an athlete. But the first thing is, it's not an athlete. It's not what he did. He was a human being. Yeah. It's a disease. And, as much as I can appreciate all the speculation on why the man passed away, I didn't really want to hear that, especially when they didn't come out with it and make it public. Could you imagine the man's poor family?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I don't care that he was in the hotel room for 2 months. My question is, what did his family do to try to find him or to get him out of this situation?
Well, let me tell you the kind of guy he was, too. Just going back 2 weeks ago on the impromptu radio road this year, I heard him on, he was on with Pat and Aaron on WDAE, and, he did that every year because Vincent Jackson was always hustling for the Action Jackson 83 Foundation, which, of course, he gave to the military families, to the kids and the family.
He was building houses, from what I understand, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, and he came from two parents who both were in the military services, and it was an important thing for him. And he always, and what I loved about his foundation is, and still love about the Vincent Jackson Foundation, is that they give to the families. Oh, I wonder if that's true.
I got a question. Can someone please text into the comments whether or not you can hear our audio?
Well, let's just see here. Okay, so it says it's low. So let's just see what's going on here. But yeah, so what the thing about his foundation is, let me see here. Oh, put my phone to sleep. Is that what they did for military families each year at Christmas time?
Well, John Abbott says we can hear, okay, so I guess we're good to go. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, folks. Just a couple of bugs with my equipment here. My apologies.
It's the first over-under. So there's going to be
some it's the first over-under. I'm over and he's under.
I'm going to let you go ahead and say that, but what I want to do is get back to the foundation and what he did for, especially when he gave Christmas presents to the families, to all the sacrifices our military families make, and more importantly, the children of our military families, moms and dads, and in some cases, both moms and dad, and they're giving and they're overseas, especially as we've had these conflicts and stuff throughout the world, and they're overseas defending and protecting our democracy and our country, and the sacrifices the kids make. And he would give back to the educational All right, so maybe it is on their end. Maybe did you do a power test on it? You want to restart this thing over there? Keep going.
I think we're going to have to restart it because I think they just kicked us out of it.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what this